This week, General Motors, in the holiday spirit, gave their electric vehicle owners either $80 or $85 of credit with EVGO. Pilot Flying J opened their largest form factor station with 8 stalls under a canopy on Interstate 95's midpoint. And Ionna did a whirlwind whistle-stop tour of stations they have under construction in the state of California. Let's get into it. I'm here at what looks to be soon to be opened Ionna station that has been kind of amazing to watch. It's here in my hometown, and the speed at which this station has been installed is amazing. As you can see right over here, there is a transformer in place, and that transformer showed up like a week after the pad for the transformer was poured. It's like the concrete was poured. A week later, the transformer was sitting on top of it. It was really amazing, and it really speaks to how Ionna is getting on game with their project planning for churning out these stations. They also had the paving done very rapidly. It was graded, and then a paving company was here shortly thereafter. Lines are painted. The chargers are seated on their pedestals. They have the garbage cans with the squeegees in place, the signage. Landscaping is done. We're waiting for the canopy to be delivered. The transformer is not energized yet, but this thing is moving very, very rapidly. And as I mentioned at the beginning, Ionna is one of the highlights of this week's stories. So this seemed like a good place to shoot from. This past week, several states have been doing state plans where they're investing in electric vehicle charging outside of the federal NEVI program. And the state of Illinois announced Rebuild Illinois, in which $20 million are allocated for public electric vehicle charging infrastructure. So the NEVI funding is getting ready to be released, and stations are getting built. We're seeing round 2. In fact, there's another story coming up here later on about a round 2 winner in the state of Georgia. But additionally, states independently are investing in electric vehicle charging as well. And in this case, it's the state of Illinois who did an announcement this past week. Sticking with funding awards, 2 weeks ago, I spoke with the founder and CEO of PowerUp America. We learned this week they have become the largest award winner of Phase 2 NEVI awards in the state of Georgia with 11 stations. And they issued this press release. Let me just go over some of the highlights of this press release real quick. PowerUp America is honored to announce that the Georgia Department of Transportation has selected our team for 11 new fast charging locations through the federal NEVI Round 2 program. Award strengthens PowerUp America's commitment to building a reliable American-made EV charging network that serves communities across the state. Selected sites include Pine Mountain, Waycross, Midway, Pearson, Milledgeville, Carlton, Ball Ground, East Eljoy, Cornelia, Bremen, and Blakely. And here's a quote from Jesse Hensley, one of the president of PowerUp America. This award reflects the hardworking preparation our team has put in to build a best-in-class charging network for Georgia. We are fully prepared to move these projects into construction and deliver infrastructure that communities can rely on every day. PowerUp is proud to help strengthen Georgia's energy future with solutions that are built to last and made to serve the people of the state, said Jesse Hensley, president of PowerUp America. As the largest awardee in Georgia for this funding round, PowerUp America will deploy a next-generation network of high-performance fast chargers designed to improve travel, support local businesses, and promote economic growth in rural and urban communities alike. Let me do one other quote, and I know this is a little lengthy, but it's kind of interesting. This is a quote from Josh Turner, the person who was on this program, I think it was 2 weeks ago. This award marks a significant step forward for PowerUp America in the state of Georgia. Our team has worked tirelessly to build a model that blends American-made infrastructure, strong community partnerships, and long-term operational excellence. We're grateful for this trust placed in us and are fully committed to delivering charging solutions that families, businesses, and travelers can depend on every day. These sites represent meaningful progress for economic opportunity, workforce development, and a cleaner future for the communities we are privileged to serve. So congratulations, PowerUp America. And as you may recall, PowerUp America has a kind of unique canopy design. They won several NEVI awards in the state of Kentucky, where their first station is going in, and in the state of Virginia as well, and in Tennessee. And now they're adding Georgia to their list, where they're being federally funded to build stations as the largest award recipient of round 2. The Tesla Supercharger team had another great week. A large 40-stall station went into West Palm Beach, Florida. Huge, just all in one row, 40 stalls. It is truly a sight to behold. Congratulations on the Tesla Supercharger team for going big in West Palm. There's a 24-stall station in Houston and a 20-stall station at a Target in Orlando, Florida. This past week, the tally is 18 new stations. And as you can see, these are not small stations. These are big stations. It's truly amazing to witness the Tesla Supercharger team able to sustain such a high station count opening relentlessly, week over week over week. Truly a sight to behold. Congratulations to the Tesla Supercharger team. We are all in awe of your accomplishments and applaud you and appreciate all you do for the greater EV community. Next, in a bit of a mystery, I did not get an email. I just got a push notification indicating that there was an $80 credit. And General Motors has also recently, before they did this, issue a press release where they're offering General Motors 10% discounts at EVGO stations that are not EVGO Extend, so not the Pilot Flying J, but just the EVGO native stations. You get a 10% discount if you're a General Motors customer. And this past week, they seem to quietly disperse $80 credits. And it actually, I charged it at a Pilot Flying J, and this $80 credit does work at Pilot Flying J's, I should mention, by the way. I've used it 2 times already at Pilot Flying J and got the credit used. In fact, I actually had a viewer comment that they use the EVGO app on a ChargePoint station, and the credit worked there as well. So anything where you could use the EVGO app, the credit will work. But I used it at a station that I didn't realize until after I got home. It got zeroed out, and I thought it was just kind of like a technical glitch or something. And it wasn't until later where I saw the $80 credit getting circulated in social media that I went back and I saw I had an $80 credit that had already been used at that charging session. And then I used it again. And so I guess just in time for the holidays, they're not really clarifying why this $80 credit is being issued to General Motors customers. But if you're a General Motors customer, check your EVGO account, and you very likely have an $80 credit applied to you there. And if you don't, I'm not sure exactly how it gets applied, but I think you may have to have a General Motors car set up for Auto Charge Plus in your EVGO account for it to be recognized in the system, and then the $80 credit get applied. And I'm not sure if you add it after the fact, if it would retroactively apply the $80 credit. Like, I think this was a one-time thing. But maybe call into EVGO. The truth is there's a lot of uncertainty because they didn't do a good job of communicating exactly. Like, there's no press release. I didn't get an email. Some people got an email. And so check to see if you have a Christmas surprise waiting for you in EVGO if you're a General Motors electric vehicle owner. And I'm definitely going to use the heck out of that. I'm actually halfway done. I'm down to $40 already. I've been burning through it pretty good. Next, Pilot Flying J opened their largest station with 8 stalls under a canopy on Interstate 95's midpoint in Elkton, Maryland. In addition, this past week they opened stations in Wells, Nevada, on Interstate 80 in a pretty underserved area, in Garrard, Ohio, in the west of the state near Youngstown, and a 6-stall station on I-8 in Yuma, Arizona, which kind of skirts the Mexican border down there at the very southern end of Arizona. So Pilot Flying J had a really good week, and that banner station in Elkton is definitely something worthwhile to see. In fact, if you got your $80 credit and you're going up Interstate 95, I would definitely recommend that's a station to stop at. Nothing's nicer than pulling into Pilot Flying J and having the facility open 24/7, 365 right off the interstate and everything. They really do a good job with servicing electric vehicle people doing road trips. Really great location. So if you happen to be out and about, even if you're not in a General Motors car, it's a great stop on that midpoint in 95. Next, Ionna did a whirlwind whistle-stop tour of stations they have under construction in the state of California and subsequently issued a press release. And let me do the press release first, and then I'm going to talk about the whistle-stop tour that they did. From the press release, quote, "This week alone, Ionna marked a significant milestone with kickoff ceremonies in San Francisco, Sacramento, San Diego, San Jose, and Westminster, representing only a fraction of over 1,000 bays now contracted across California. These locations bring Ionna's total network to just over 4,000 bays contracted across the U.S. and highlights a shift in the company's focus from building to flipping on the switch for over 1,100 bays currently in construction or beyond in the U.S. They specifically call out the number of $250 million of investment in the state of California, and initial indications were the budget for Ionna over its initial phase of build-out, where they're going for 30,000 stalls, was going to be $10 billion, and that's kind of an arbitrary number. It sounds like someone just kind of picked that number out of a hat. But if that's the case, this would represent, what? So 1/40th or something? Let's see, it would be not 1/40th. It would be, 1/40th of the overall investment of that $10 billion. But they say that $250 million in the state of California is going to be spent between now and 2027. So in an abbreviated time frame, that $10 billion is over a longer time frame. So of the money being spent in the next couple of years, this very likely represents a large chunk of it. Continuing with the press release, Ionna continues to push the envelope in their efforts to reduce friction in the customer experience, no matter the make or model. With 5 of the 8 founding automakers already integrated with Plug and Charge, BMW, General Motors, Hyundai, Kia, and Mercedes, and 3 more planned by the end of 2026, Honda, Stellantis, and Toyota, we now welcome Rivian and Ford vehicles into the fold. Each rechargery station allows for seamless automatic charging as a fully integrated partner with Rivian and full-fledged members of Ford's Blue Oval Charge Network. So that plug and charge experience I've definitely got spoiled with. Here in North Carolina, basically Pilot Flying J and Ionna, along the major travel corridors that I use, are where I generally end up. And as a General Motors EV owner, plug and charge works. And I really like just showing up to the station, plugging in, your payment has been authorized, sitting back in the car, and then vegetating while my car gets new electrons. It's definitely something that, as they say here, is a reduced friction in the customer experience, is the way they say it. And I'm definitely lazily enjoying plug and charge as well. And this week, Ford Blue Oval Charge Network is joining the fray. So welcome to lethargy, folk. It's definitely a thing, and for sure, plug and charge is the way to go. We can finally be cool like Tesla. They also released a rendering of their first ever rechargery beacon. For those who don't know, Ionna has 4 tiers of rechargery. Let's just go over those really quick. The rechargery relay, which is a smaller form factor, and actually I think this, even though it's got 16 stalls, is technically considered a rechargery relay. A rechargery at, so for instance, they've got partnerships with Sheetz, with Casey's, and with Wawa. And so if they put one of their rechargeries that look like this in one of those facilities, it's called a rechargery at. They also have something called a rechargery, which is one of the ones that they buy the land like this, and then I guess they have like a facility in order to sit down, a lounge or something, and that delineates it being a rechargery. For instance, at Apex and Gardner, North Carolina are 2 rechargeries. And then they've been teasing something called a rechargery beacon. And we had seen some renderings, but this past week, they also released renderings of the first rechargery beacon that will be installed as a part of their whistle-stop tour in the state of California. This is going to be in Westminster, California, south of Los Angeles. And those renderings you could definitely daydream over. They look really pretty. The station looks to have 20 stalls under the canopy. There's a signature sign that says Ionna kind of up high. A attached lounge, and I understand from watching live streams from other YouTubers, I was watching Charge Positive's live stream of the Westminster shovel, the dirt turning ceremony, that is going to have the attendant list just walk out store inside that lounge as well. And a distinctive canvas canopy for an outdoor seating area as well. So the first beacon rechargery is now known. It's now known to be under construction, and we have renderings of what it's going to look like. So very exciting. Speaking of Ionna, they added 3 new rechargeries to their open list this past week. Carlin, Nevada on Interstate 80, midway between Salt Lake City and Reno. Largo, Florida, near Tampa, St. Petersburg, and Reading, Massachusetts are the 3 that they added this past week. And they seem to be on a pattern now where they've got the opening station momentum going. And there's really no, I mean, you could look at this one. This one's getting pretty darn close to getting ready. And we know of many others that are in similar states. So their opening pace seems to be picking up. Next, the Rivian Adventure Network opened 2 stations this past week. The first one in Waco, Texas, and the other one in Brewer, Maine. Both of them have 6 stalls, and there was some indication from viewers adding comments, and I apologize, I should have captured the viewer's name, and I'll put it up here as a picture-in-picture, that there's some NACS handles here as well for Rivian owners, and this might be indicating a pivot in the Rivian Adventure Network to including NACS handles as well. I'm not sure to what extent that might have existed in the past, but it seems to be with new stations that's starting to become a pattern. EVGO opened a larger form factor station with 12 stalls in Bakersfield, California. Additionally, 2 stations through their EVGO Extend partnership with Meijer grocery store in the Ohio region, similar to the Pilot Flying J, which is EVGO Extend arrangements where Pilot owns those stations. And actually in PlugShare, they're listed as the Pilot Flying J network. It's not EVGO, it's Pilot. Meijer is doing a similar venture with EVGO where they're getting chargers put on their property. I guess we'll have the Meijer network now too, because there's 2 stations that opened this past week. Additionally, a Barnes & Noble bookstore in Liverpool, New York, got a 6-stall EVGO station. BP Pulse opened a 12-stall Alpitronic station on Interstate 10 in El Paso, Texas, at a Petro Travel Center that has a fan-favorite Black Bear Diner. It's been kind of lingering out there, but it's now officially open. They also announced, this was very notable, in social media that they're offering a 10-cent per kilowatt-hour discount, specifically in the states of Illinois, Florida, and Texas. And these are at all BP Pulse stations, the gas stations, the Travel Centers of America, and the gigahubs at the airports. So only in the states of Illinois, Florida, and Texas, in between the dates of November 26th and December 1st. So if you're traveling for the Thanksgiving holiday, and you're looking for electrons on the cheap, you can get a 10% discount, or a 10-cent per kilowatt discount, I should say. That's more than 10%. That's more like 20%. Between November 26th and December 1st at BP Pulse locations in Florida, Illinois, and Texas. Next, CPO ChargeSmart EV has been very active in the New York region, and this week they added 10 stations to the Alternative Fuels Data Center database. Most of them had 8 stalls. An impressive showing, and I'm going to be reaching out to see if we can get a conversation with them, considering all the good work they're doing in the state of New York. Definitely during this past quarter, they've been doing a great job opening stations. And 8 stalls is, significant, and they did 10 stations. This is, pretty significant. All of them had very similar open dates, so I don't know if they were clerically just getting entered with those open dates, or if they actually opened those 10 stations all on the same day or two. Lastly, a viewer named David suggested adding a wall of shame where viewers submit obscenely high-priced stations where we may be able to contribute to curbing price gouging to some extent. If you have any you want to submit, feel free to let me know. I can be reached on Facebook or LinkedIn. Pretty easily accessible. You can ping me on my private channel. I don't participate in the comments here on Out of Spec Bits. It's kind of a long story. But you can reach out to me there, and I'll include those in future ones if this is something the community wants to do. David's nomination is a $2 per kilowatt hour one at a car dealership in East Rochester, New York, called Holston General Motors Chevrolet. So congratulations, Holston. You win the Wall of Shame award this week. Thanks for watching.